I'm Davy. I'm awesome. And welcome to Davy's Awesome Stories, where I tell funny stories from my past or go on a rant in an effort to make you laugh. So this week I'm going to talk about something that all men do and all women do. All men say things that don't mean anything bad, are not mean at all, but all women will take them the wrong way. Let me tell you something, this is never more prevalent than when you're about to get married. When you're about to get married, it's very stressful on both you and the woman you're about to marry. Mostly her. So she's going to take a lot of things the wrong way, and you're going to pay for it. She's going to ask your opinion on just about everything. And the problem with that is when it comes to weddings, men, we don't have an opinion on everything. Now, let's not be stereotypical and act like it's completely and 100%, oh, guys don't care, we just want to know when to show up. No, it isn't like that. But what we care about ranges from, yeah, we really care, to, we care, but we'll easily give in, to, yes, we don't care at all. If you hadn't brought it up, we wouldn't even have noticed. But I will admit, the main thing we're going to have an opinion about is the cost. It's not cheapness, it's just we're spending a lot of money on one day. Heck, my wedding wasn't even a particularly expensive wedding. Yet we still spent way more than we intended to. Plus her grandmother spent a bunch of money, and even her parents spent a little bit of money on our wedding. And yet our wedding was considered cheap. But this is what I will advise you guys, is when that is a concern, pretend it's not. For example, when she asks you, what chairs do you think we should rent for the wedding? Don't reply, I don't know, whichever one's cheapest. Because the truth is, when it comes to the chairs, that is our opinion. Whichever one's cheapest, but don't say that. Don't say that. Go over, look at the options, make a mental note in your head which one's the cheapest, and then come up with some bullcrap logic why you think that's the best choice. Something like, well, I'm just saying, that looks the sturdiest of the chairs, and remember, we got that one relative coming who's like, because for some reason, when you say that one, it's cheaper, we all as guys know what we mean right there. What we're saying is, honey, they're just chairs. Nobody's going to really notice. Of all the things we're going to go all out on, let's not make it the chairs. Let's try to save a little bit of money so that we don't just have to have a wedding, but we also can have a marriage. But what she hears, you're a gold digger who's bleeding me dry. I should never have proposed to you. That's not what I mean! But continuing with the whole wedding thing, at some point they're going to ask you for an opinion on something you really, really just don't care about. But you can't say I don't care. You have to come up with an opinion, despite the fact that's not going to really help either. Because you don't have one, so you're going to have to fake it. Yes, ladies, you fake your things, we fake our things. Like she's going to come up to you and ask something like, hey, since our colors are red and white, should we do the centerpieces like half of them are red and half of them are white? Or should each one be like mixed red and white? I don't have an opinion on something like that. If she hadn't have asked me, I probably wouldn't have noticed there were centerpieces at the wedding. Like I would have seen them, but I wouldn't have like taken stock of them in my mind. Giving her an opinion's not going to help. Because the truth is, she doesn't want an opinion. She's already got one she's leaning towards and she wants you to give her a reason to do it. But you try to fake it, you try to give her an opinion, just something like, I think you should mix them, like make them all red and white. But I'm making them by hand. And to do the mixed is going to take longer, and I don't know if I have time to do that before the wedding. Okay, then half of them red, half of them white. But we have an odd number of tables, so do we do more red or more white? Do more red, and if somebody mentions that there's less white, call them racist. Don't say that, because even though it's clearly a joke, she's not going to have a sense of humor again until the wedding's over. But the thing is, I'd already learned, with other things I didn't care about, you don't say, honey, I don't care. Because as men, we all know what that means. When we're saying I don't care, what we mean is, honey, this is not very important to me. This is important to you. So whichever one you want to do, honey, this is all you. Whichever one you want to do, I am more than okay with. What she hears, though, leave me alone, your voice annoys me. That's not what I meant! Now, I'd like to tell you this stops after you get married, but no, it doesn't. Throughout your marriage, things happen, and sometimes you say things not thinking how she's going to take it. But then again, I do that all the time. I don't really think much before I speak. My wife's even asked me that, like, why don't you ever think before you speak? Because, honey, I like to be just as surprised as you are. But no, sometimes you even mean it in a nice way. And she still takes it the wrong way. For example, we have children, and my wife, like the majority of women who have children, got stretch marks from having kids. It's just something that happens. The belly grows, skin breaks. There's absolutely nothing that you can do about it. There's things you can do to hide them, but they're there for the rest of your life. Now, the thing is husbands, unless we're like really, really, really shallow jerks, we don't care. We hardly even notice. They're kind of like the centerpieces. It's not that we don't see them. We just don't take enough stock of them to put them in our brain. We don't care. Only thing we care about is you're complaining about it. And not in a mean way of like, oh, I just wish you would shut up. But we know it makes you self-conscious, and we don't like when you're self-conscious. At least if we're good husbands, we don't like that. One day, I'm on the YouTubes, and YouTube for a while would not stop recommending me makeup tutorials. Don't ask me why. I don't understand YouTube's recommendation thing sometimes. Sometimes I get it. You watch a video that maybe it's not about that subject, but something about that subject was in there, so now it's recommending all this stuff. But sometimes, I swear to God, your phone or your laptop just happened to hear some conversation that was going on in the room that maybe you weren't even a part of, and now you're being suggested video after video after video after video after video of this thing. And for a while, for months, I was getting a list of makeup tutorial suggestions. Even though in my lifetime I've only watched one makeup tutorial, it was after that one, and it was because a friend of mine who does those on YouTube asked me to check her channel out, and I did it to be supportive. But this was after, so I still don't get why I was recommending them. But one of them was specific and was a makeup tutorial on how to hide your stretch marks using makeup. And I didn't even realize what I was doing. As I looked over and I said, hey honey, you know how you're always complaining about your stretch marks? Well, there's this video that shows you how to use makeup to hide them. Now I think every man, whether you've done that or not, gets what that meant. What it meant was, honey, I don't like that you're self-conscious, and I want to help you do something about that. So here's an idea. Do it, don't do it, whatever. I just want to help. But what she heard, hey, you should watch this video because your stomach grosses me out. That's not what I meant! So the moral of this story, there isn't one, because there's no way to avoid this. You're going to say things that are just logical, reasonable, and in no way, shape, or form mean. But she's still going to take it that way. Good luck. So there you have it. That's my story video this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notifications when I post new videos, and leave a comment. Tell me about some times that you said something that wasn't mean, but she took it that way. Love you guys.